Hello, welcome back. I'm the Andromedan Tarot. I hope your day is going well so far. In today's reading, we're gonna see why are you lost and what can you do about it. So if nowadays, very recently, or for the longest time, it doesn't matter how long, basically. But if you felt lost, if you feel lost, and you don't really know where you're going, where do you stand, if you feel like when you look around your family members or your friends and your co-workers and you feel like you're so behind, this reading is probably for you. Because today we're gonna see if I can get the why you feel lost, so that maybe you possibly feel like it resonates more with you depending on which pile you choose. But most importantly, what can you do to help you? So advice from your guides, advice from the universe, whatever you believe it, whatever you think it is from. I just want to see what you can do to kind of move forward, to unstuck your mind, your belief, yourself. So we have three pile. Pile 1 with the B, the number 52, or the Selenite crystal. Pile 2 with the crocodile, the number 17, or the Amazonite tower. And pile 3 with lizard, the number 13, or the Opalite crystal. I'm gonna give you some time to choose your pile. Please feel free to stop the video if you need more time. Let your intuition guide you. Close your eyes and feel which pile do you feel the most drawn to. And when you're ready, I'm gonna see you in your reading. Hello pile 1, welcome back. If you chose the B, the number 52, or the Selenite, then this is your reading. The first thing I want to mention to you, since you picked the Selenite, is that if you didn't know, the Selenite is a lot of times used to recharge all other crystal, so all crystal. Selenite is kind of a battery or a recharge for everything and anything in regards of crystal. And I feel drawn to say that because I feel like this may be the case for some of you, or at least someone here, in regards of how your energy is used, or how you feel in regards of your energy, in the sense of you may be feeling lost because you're depleted of energy, because when you're around people, it's like they take and they take and they take from you, and you feel like maybe there's nothing you can do about it. So you're just exhausted and tired all the time, because you are this crystal that recharge all the other crystal, and yet there's nothing less for you. That's kind of the feeling I have with this one here. Of course, this might be specific, but I still wanted to mention it. Also, in regards of the message I just gave you, something that kind of goes with it but is also specific. If you know human design, this really makes me think of the projector. They have not a lot of energy, and by the way, my knowledge about human design is kind of new. I don't know everything about it, but since I am a projector, I know a little bit more about this one, and I'm not trying to project or I'm not trying to put myself in your reading, that's what I mean by one. But I do feel the vibe of a projector, in the sense of you have this energy and you do not have a lot, and it feels like it just is taken away by others. That's really how it feels like. So if you know human design, first of all, this could be your sign that this is your pal. And more specifically, if you are a projector, then this is also a sign, or could be a sign, that this is also your pal. And if not, and it's something that interests you, then I really encourage you to look into this. Even though you're not a projector, maybe you're a manifestor, manifesting generator, or generator, whatever your case is, pal one. You might find information that you need, since human design really, to me at least, how I interpret this way of not this way of doing astrology, because there is astrology in it. It's a combination of a lot of things, but it really, the focus point, the main point of human design is energy, how you deal with your energy, and how you can do to be better with your own. So I'm sorry for this for this little monologue. If you were not resonating with anything, I'm just gonna move your card. By the way, the 52 was or is symbiosis with trine or sextile. And in astrology, and again, I'm not an expert in this, but I do love astrology. So what I know from trine and sextile is both of these things are talking about harmonious energy, more in a sense of the energy flows harmoniously between the planets, or two things. And I say two things because this might be something important in regard of your pal, or in regard of something specific to you, especially if again you feel depleted in some way. It might be because the energy is not being harmonious, is not moving like harmoniously. I don't even know if it's a word, but there is something about that. So it's either it's a clue that there's work to do on your energy, or if simply you feel like it's not that, then take it as something positive, as well, there is harmony in your pal in the moment. The sextile also said that it opens up a pathway for growth. And you know, with the bee, as soon as I saw this card, I was like, okay. To me, it was really like somebody here is working too much. Somebody here is not using its energy correctly, is really feeling depleted. I know it comes back again, but that's really what I'm feeling right now for you, pal one. So it really feels like somebody is working a lot, somebody is working hard. And it doesn't mean that you have to work in a big company and working 50 hours a week. You know, you could only work 32 hours a week. But if you're a parent, if you have chores at home, you know, there's multiple things in your life that make you this worker bee, that make you feel tired and depleted. And for you, Pawan, it really feels like this is the core situation, or why you're feeling lost, and why there is this lack of harmony in your energy at the moment. You also have, you know, bees, they're generally working together. Trine and sextile, this card, if I remember correctly in the book, also talks about collaboration. This could be a lack of collaboration, a lack of help that you have in the moment, that could have an impact on your situation, on why you're lost. But also, for some of you, this might be specific, but the bee really makes me feel like, and even with the birds on this oracle, really put me towards the feeling of, there might be some of you that needs to ask for help, to ask for guidance, whether it's a friend, a family member, a coworker, a psychologist, a psychiatrist, whatever it is. In fact, whoever it is, some of you, or at least one, I think this is something that needs to be done. Especially for those of you who are in partnership, those of you who have kids and you feel really left out, really left alone, and really like abandoned by your partner. And they don't see what's happening. They don't see how you feel and how lost you are and how complicated things are for you. I think there needs to be a conversation, and for that there needs to be a call for help that you need to make. I'm just gonna move your card here, as well as your selenite crystal and the bee. You also had another little card at this one, and it's the black egg. Purple and yellow might be significant. And you know, in the book, the black egg, one of the first thing it says is speaking authentically, speaking from the truth. It really puts me back to some of you. There needs to be a call for help. There needs to be a moment where you put all your cards down on the table and you just say what it is, how you feel, how you think about what's happening. Especially those of you, it's in regard of somebody else or a situation that could be helped with the help of someone that you know that you're close to. And I found it really funny, not in a sense of haha, just like it's if you believe in coincidence, and we use the term coincidence, it's a nice coincidence that this card also refers to a balance in some way. You know, there is a moment where this card and balance represent being authentic to yourself and speaking the truth and not wanting to conform to an ideal or lying, gossiping, you know, all those things. You do not want to go down that road. And when it's in balance, it's like I mentioned, it's the opposite. You do not want to do those things. Instead, you really want to be authentic. It's more about wanting to reconnect with your own truth and with your own self. And to me, this is really nice that you have this in your pile, because your reading is why are you lost? What should you do now if you're feeling lost, you know? So it really demands you to reconnect with yourself, to find yourself again. But now let's see your tarot. So we have the Queen of Cups. We have the Six of Pentacles. We have the Ten of Wands. You know, that heaviness that I think I mentioned something at the beginning, that is what I'm searching now. I'm sorry about one, it might come back later. The Seven of Cups. The Five of Wands. The Three of Pentacles. The Queen of Wands. The Nine of Cups. And the Eight of Pentacles. I must say that with the Queen of Wands here, most of the time the black cat could represent, or actually do represent, kind of your shadow aspect, your subconscious, you know, it's something like that. And with the black egg and what I mentioned about it, kind of going back to yourself, this really makes me feel like there's something that could help. Trying activities or journaling, you know, anything that could help you kind of like analyze how you're feeling today, or you're feeling in this situation, asking yourself questions and answering them honestly to know where you stand, you yourself, in that situation. I also heard going back to your root. Maybe that's something specific that one of you needed to hear, and this will actually mean something specific for you. Like maybe some of you are living somewhere and it's not your birthplace, if I can use that term for lack of a better one. So going back to your root could be literally flying away and going back to your own town, going back to your family. But it doesn't have to be like that, you know. It could simply be your root being what I just mentioned, and trying to reconnect with yourself by self-analyzing, journaling, doing shadow work, going to therapy, etc., etc. Also, I feel like you need a reminder. The Seven of Cups here right now really makes me feel like, you know, the person represented in this card is looking at all the choices that he had, a choice in each cup. And to me, it feels like this is you in regards of people in your life. You see all these people having the life, and I'm here quoting this, the life that you think that you should have, or that you feel like you should have, or they are in a point in their life where you feel like you should be at the same point too. Like whatever the case is specifically for you, it truly feels like this is you. And where the reminder comes from is really a reminder to not do this, to try to take a step back and realize you are not these people. You do not have to do exactly what they're doing or to be exactly where they're going, because first of all, most of the time it's just appearances, especially if it's on social media. But second of all, you're not these people. You're not supposed to live the same life. You're not supposed to make the same choices. I feel like, and that's why I heard like under construction, but in French, basically more in a sense of, it felt like a road. I was seeing like a road. I don't know if you ever been to Montreal, but there's always construction in Montreal. It's horrible. That's what I mean. It feels like, and it's not funny. I know I laugh, but I laugh at everything, so do not take it personally. I'm sorry. But what I mean by that, what it makes me feel like seeing Montreal and seeing all these orange cones and all these detours and things like that, really makes me feel like this is your path. Your path is not supposed to be all pretty, shiny, and done now until the end of your life, until the last day and the last breath that you're gonna have. Okay, so I'm sorry, something just fell off, but it was pretty loud. So I'm just gonna repeat in case I had to cut this part. But basically what I was saying is that the vision of Montreal and all the detour and stuff like that really makes me feel like your path is this. Your path is under construction. And your path is not supposed to be all done, shiny, pretty until the end of your life. The end of your life, sorry. You know, it's not supposed to be, okay, well, this is where I'm going and nothing will change ever until my last breath. No, it will always be in some form of construction, because you will always have choices to make. And it's okay. And you do not have to compare your path with others. And I know this can be quite difficult, especially if I feel like maybe at the end of your day, if you had a hard day, maybe you go home, you do what you have to do, and when you have spare time, you might go on social media. And if some of you are scrolling on Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok, or YouTube, I don't know, or whatever it is, you're seeing all these people living the best life. They're truly not the model. They're truly not what you should compare your life with. So for those of you who resonate with this specifically, it might be a good idea to kind of, I'm gonna say slow down, but doing less of comparing you and others, especially if it's on social media. So maybe going less on social media, trying to figure out some hobbies that take you away from social media. You know, with the black egg, I did read at some point that in balance, you might want to read or rediscover hobbies. So this to me is kind of like confirming that some of you do need to find other ways to occupy your time when you're stressed, when you're overwhelmed. And it's funny because I just noticing this card really brings me back to construction, the construction part. Also, I had kind of a feeling of, you know, looking at the bigger picture of thing. But for you, Pawan, I'm kind of drawn, I'm kind of like pushed more in the direction of focusing more on the detail on one thing could help you out instead. And really with this one, with the Three of Pentacles, it feels like, yes, they are talking, but I'm looking at the detail of the card, and to me it feels like, imagine someone who's building this, you know, it takes an incredible amount of time, patience, but also being very, very much detail oriented, focusing on every little inch of this wall, of this thing. I feel like for some of you, it's actually the way to go. Like some of you, to kind of like ease off your back and to put some weight off your back, get off some pressure out of yourself. It could be a good idea to focus on one goal at a time, on one struggle at a time. I'm looking at the two queens. You have the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Wands up here. And they're kind of looking in each opposite direction. And I'm hearing look both ways. I don't know why. I feel like it's a movie. Maybe it's a book. Obviously, if you resonate with this, please let me know and tell me what this is. If you know, you know, I guess. But I really feel like it comes from somewhere. At least it could be the case. And someone here knows. And there might be a message in that. With the B, I have Queen Bee. So maybe Beyonce could be a sign or just something that you can resonate with for your pal. Maybe there's a specific song that you like from Beyonce, or that there's a specific song with a specific message for some of you. But again, still with the two queens and they look both ways. Now I'm hearing there's two sides of a coin, and it really feels to me like this is how it should be for you. This is how you should be with yourself in your life. In a sense of, the Queen of Cups could be represented as someone who's very sensitive, very intuitive, very in touch with herself and her emotion. And obviously this is something that could help you, since we've briefly talked about something similar at the beginning. And the Queen of Wands, to put it shortly, could be represented by someone who is very confident, who is very passionate. And I feel like those are two things that you should have in yourself, or you should work on to have in yourself, so that you are not too hard on yourself, and yet you figure out a way to find a way. You figure out a way to pursue something and be focused on something, one thing at a time, so that you know where you're going and you do not need to look elsewhere with other people to decide which way to take. It's like now you're the one in control of that, and you're not gonna take this decision based on other people. But I cannot take away the fact that there is still something about asking for help or team. The bees working for the queen, all the birds here. This man giving back to others could also talk about asking for help. Also talk about, or could also talk about collaboration. You know, there is still something about people, and I'm not gonna take away the fact that I really feel like you should not base your decision on what others are doing or what they're telling you to do. but it really feels like to me like this is more something of like at the beginning, some of you needs to ask for help, some of you needs to be able to do that. Also, the 9 of Cups might be specific, but I feel like this little one could be about being grateful for things, like maybe practicing being grateful. Either you say in your head or you write something in your journal. I feel like maybe, and this may refer to, you know, focusing on the little things, but instead of doing in regard of something that you're doing, it could be in regard of something you're grateful for, so that you realize everything you actually have and everything you're actually proud about in yourself and in your life, in the moment, in the present moment. I think some of you, this could help. I have 3 more oracles that I'm gonna show you. So we have You Don't Have to Explain Your Dreams, They Belong to You by Paulo Coelho. I hope I'm saying that right, but it's possible that I'm not. So I'm sorry about that. But this really, to me, it really confirms what we said about your choices, what you do with your life, how you live your life. It's not the business of anybody else, and you should not compare. You should not feel guilty for the choices that you make. You should be happy of what you're doing, even though it seems like you're ahead or you're behind. There is really no ahead of behind in regards of our path in life. They're all very private. They're all different, even though sometimes they look the same. You also have Clever. Maybe foxes are important for you. And Dualism. This could also represent Pisces. Maybe you are Pisces or you have some Pisces in your chart. This one really makes me feel balance again, or being in between, not being so sure, being, you know, Pisces is the 12th sign of the zodiac. It's the last. It's the one that he is in this world, but is also in the next, if I can use this expression. You might feel something along the lines of sometimes being sure, sometimes not being sure. So maybe you are Libra. This also makes me feel like a Libra energy of the balance. Not that Libra does not know what they want. It's really the image of Libra that I'm referring to right now. But if we go back to Pisces, or specifically this card, I feel like right now I really need to say that not everything is black or white, or in this card, not everything is pink or blue. There is different shade, and it relates to you in whatever area of your life you feel lost, whatever your situation is. It's not one thing or another in many occasions. You know, there is a gray area. There is a possibility for you to find your place in between. And it might be something that you need to search for. And what I mean by that is you might need to expand. And this could feel uncomfortable, especially for those of you who are feeling lost because you're stuck in your comfort zone, because you're stuck in familiarity. Getting out of this can be quite difficult, but finding ways to slowly pushing back the walls of your comfort zone could expand your choices, your area of choices, if I can use this term for lack of a better one. This could help you out to see this gray area, these multiple shades between the black and the white, you know? So finding ways to slowly being stronger and better at being comfortable in the uncomfortable, whether it's social anxiety. I don't know if I say that right. Social anxiety. I'm sorry, it's late. But yeah, whether it's something like that, and or public speaking, maybe calling the phone, you know, taking a very tiny step into one thing that you feel comfortable in, and slowly getting accustomed to it, and then doing something else that is now uncomfortable, that you thought, no way, I will never be able to do this, and now you can practice it. I really feel like there is need to practice to get out of your comfort zone, but I really strongly feel like the term that I should use is to expand your comfort zone. For some reason, I feel like clever and you don't have to explain your dreams, they belong to you, goes together in some way. And this might be for one person only or a small group of you by one. But you know, saying to someone that they're clever is a compliment. But saying to someone that they're clever could also not be a compliment, because it could imply that you're telling them that they're calculative, that they're manipulative. And I feel like for some of you, once you get out of your life, once you take control over things and things get better in the sense of now you have a sense of who you are and where you want to go, and you do not base your decision on anybody else other than yourself, I feel like this might surprise some people. I feel like this is when it comes in. It's like people no longer know what's going on with you, where you're going, what you're going to do next. And this might scare some. And you know, this could be part of another journey of yours altogether. It could put you, and I'm looking at the black egg, it could put you kind of a feeling, you know, the expression of being the black sheep of a family. I feel like for some of you, as you rediscover and become the person you're meant to be and stop being lost and truly know who you are and what you want to do and where you want to go, like everything we mentioned, I feel like this is kind of where you're going to be perceived, especially family members or very close friends. Again, this might be very specific. If we stay more in the positive aspect of being clever, you know, this can mean like you being good at solving your problems, at showing sign of being able to problem solve things, or this is something you're gonna work on. Or maybe it's in regard of one of you or some of you finding asking for help and realizing that it is okay to ask for help when you need to. It is okay to say to your partner or to the people that need to know what's going on, you know. So funny, I just realized that there's a lot of circle here. You know, the bee is in a circle, it's kind of like its comfortable bubble. The egg is in the same, even the birds. I really feel like it's strongly a confirmation, and it's a beautiful one for, especially this one who's kind of like expanding, it's getting bigger and bigger. I really feel like this is something that needs to be done to help you, pal one. But small step, especially in the beginning, because otherwise, honestly, not otherwise, but honestly, if you truly feel very lost right now, you have no other choice than to take the tiniest step at a time. I don't think you will even be able to see the finish line, depending on your case. There's nothing wrong with that. That's not what I mean. But part one, this is everything I have for you in regards of your reading. I really hope you find yourself in some pieces of it, and I really hope that some information that I gave you is useful, or it could be useful for you now or in the future. Please let me know in the comment section below how you felt or what you think of your reading, if you feel comfortable to. Feel free to leave a thumbs up. This really helps my channel grow. Feel free to subscribe to never miss any reading I'm uploading. I post a new one every Saturday. I really appreciate every single one of you who comments, like, or subscribe to my channel. Please remember to be patient with yourself. I wish you all the best and hope to see you next time. Bye bye. Hello pal 2, welcome back. If you chose the crocodile, number 17, or the Amazonite, then this is your reading. The first thing I have to study you pal 2 is in regard of your crystal. You chose the Amazonite Tower, and in some cases the Amazonite could help to soothe anxiety and bring clarity. It's said to help the nervous system, so this might be something that you actually need. If you do have an Amazonite crystal, maybe charge it, or if it's already done, then just put your intention to help you out if you feel any anxiety. And that with the crocodile, which is a water sign, I feel like maybe if some of you are very, very anxious or very stressed in some moment, that might be the cause of not being able to see clearly. Maybe this is what is actually blurring your vision. When we are too anxious, our emotion can go out of the place, and it's now difficult to kind of see clearly and feel clearly and know what we're actually feeling and know what is actually going on. Even with your crocodile card, generally speaking, if I'm not mistaken, crocodile, before they go for their prey, they're very still. And I think this is something important for you, at least for some of you pal 2. With the anxiousness or the stress and the emotion out of control from the Amazonite, at least that's what I was getting. I think maybe something that is important for you is to take a step back from situation. You also have, well, actually the number 17 is solar flares. Activate. If I'm not mistaken, solar flares are, you know, the sun, there's kind of like, I'm gonna say fire, although I'm not sure that is actual fire, even though it's kind of the sun, so it is, but whatever. There is kind of like the sun, sometimes there is fire that erupts from it, and I think this is what they call solar flares, but I might be wrong, but this is what I feel like it is. And you know, when those happen, well, maybe not all of them, because I don't really hear a lot from them impacting us, but they do impact us. I feel like strongly something about our electronic devices that cannot be affected by them. Which I find funny is that in the book, they take solar flares and put it more in, they impact us on a political view of, this is kind of like a time to change, to question the system, to question things, to question ourselves. So this might be something significant for some of you, but definitely an energy of having a momentum of some way, of something being amplified, of something transforming, of something changing. Let's see, I'm just gonna move your card here and your crystal as well as this one, and we'll see your tarot. So you have the sun, we have solar flare and the sun. That's nice. You may be a Leo or have Leo in your chart. The 7 of Cups, the Queen of Wands. If you were drawn to pile 1 also had the 7 of Cups and the Queen of Wands. The Emperor, the 3 of Coins. I also think pile 1 had the 3 of Pentacles, but on that one I'm not so sure. And finally, the 4 of Cups. Kind of want to move them. Okay. Obviously, this might not be the case for everyone, but I feel like there is a decision needed to be made. And for some of you, that is kind of the core of why you're feeling lost at the moment. Okay, sorry, Patu. I had to cut. I really wanted to open the window since it's raining. Part of me really wish you can hear the rain, especially if you love the sound of rain. If you know, I'm sorry, and I hope there's not too much cars that will pass by. What I want to say next is the Seven of Cups makes me feel like maybe some of you, the core reason of why you feel so lost is that you may have a lot of decisions to make. Maybe you have too many options. It is going to imply the impression of the life of others and how it weighed on you. So seeing other people around you and feeling like, oh, but I could be this, but I could also be this, and I could also be this, or I could do this or do this instead, etc., etc. So maybe that feeling, and if that's happening, this could be the reason of why you're like, but I don't know now. It's like, what do I do? With the Queen of Wands and the Emperor, I also feel like a sense of importance, a sense of, what's the term that I'm searching for? I really have importance in my mind, but I also feel like there's another word and I cannot find it. But what I mean by that is, these two really makes me feel like it's an important decision. There's something, it's like there's an urge to make a decision, there's an urge to do something or to be something because of where you are and who you're around, because of your importance for all these reasons. Maybe a sense of responsibility. Maybe some of you feel like, but they're watching me and I don't want to mess up. I don't want to make the wrong decision. I don't want to make the wrong move, because you have an image to keep. Maybe that's very specific. Especially with the Emperor, I'm looking at the imagery on his card specifically, and standing very tall, very still in his armor, looks very proud, looks very like, this is my place, this is who I am, this is who I should be, this is where I'm supposed to be. This is what I mean about the sense of importance, and probably another word that I'm forgetting. So if you have another word in mind, great. If you want to share, please let me know in the comment section below, because right now I guess my brain doesn't want to cooperate. But this is exactly what I mean. And for some of you, the Queen of Wands and the Three of Coins, based on the imagery and the feelings that I have from it, really makes me feel like maybe some of you needs to step out of the Emperor's energy, of the control energy, because maybe some of you, you're not even realizing that how much weight you have on your shoulder could also be based upon yourself and your view of who you should be, that is influenced by others, obviously, or could be. But some of you, when I say you need to step out of this, it could mean that letting loose or giving yourself some room to do something else could help you, could give you another perspective of who you are and where you are at the moment, but also where do you want to go. I have to admit, the Queen of Wands, but I could even say even with the Three of Coins, but especially this one when I'm looking at the volcanoes, she's dancing. I heard she's dancing in the chaos. This card may not represent chaos, but to me right now in your reading, pile 2, this is what I have. It feels like even something terrible is about to happen, she's not worried. She's in total control. She knows what she's doing. I think this is something that some of you needs to learn how to do. Even with this one, they're not attacking, they're sitting down, but they could represent a threat, and yet she's not worried. Also, the four cups could speak about illusion, and I think this is something very important in your reading, pal, too, because I really feel some of you are basing your choices in life or are basing your life at the moment on illusion. Maybe you're not seeing that, and maybe that is why you need to step away from this perspective of everything needs to be perfect. I need to be this, I cannot be otherwise. Because you may realize that you actually don't need to be this. You actually don't need to be what others want you to be, especially if it's in regard to social media or friends that are not really friends, or family members that actually don't like you but like the perspective of you, anything like that. But most of the time the four cups do speak about readjustment. So reevaluating, I'm sorry if I'm not saying this word right, what you have. And you see, the fourth cup is actually not in front of his eyes, but behind. So I think that this really speaks to your whole reading and why you chose this reading in this first place. Because if you remember, this reading is your loss. What should you do now? So really a change of perspective, finding a way to see other options, to see what's out there. It could help you instead of fixating on, okay, I have this or I have this and that's it. Probably some of you, it's not that's it, it's not all. If I'm being honest with you, Patu, with everything I just said, and I'm looking again at the crocodile and the sting still aspect of your reading, I really feel like that's something that some of you, or even most of you, should do, in a sense of, before you make any other moves, I really feel like you should just stop and contemplate, but also you have the sun card, so know that if you really feel lost and you really feel like I can't move, you really feel sad, or if some of you feels like there is no way out and things will never be better because you don't know how to make them better, whatever your case is, know that things will be better. You have the sun card. It's not the end of your journey. In fact, I think that knowing that this is a journey, this is a phase, could help you to realize that you have power over this, and you're the one who make the decision. You're the one who will decide when to move or when not to move. And I think that going back to this simple aspect of, but it's my life and it's my choice, can help some of you. Obviously, some of you possibly have children or have people that you're taking care of. And I'm not saying stop thinking about them, not at all. But when you can, focusing on yourself, focusing on your own energy, focusing on what makes you happy, can help you get this other perspective and staying still moment that I've been talking about. I'm gonna be honest, I want more cards for you, pal, too. So, Spirit, can you tell pal too what they should do now? Oh. Sorry, I just hit the camera. Okay. You have the Lovers and the Six of Swords. Maybe some of you need to move away from something. It doesn't have to be physical. It could simply go back to an idea or influence of other people. For some reason, if I'm completely honest with you, Patu, the Lovers, because of the image on this card specifically, because obviously in other tarot decks it's not the same image, I have the words embrace the unknown in my head. So maybe it's referencing for some of you the fact of you don't know where you're going, you don't know what you're doing, and you should find a way to embrace that, because you do not know, you do not have to know, everything that's going to happen to you. Everywhere you're going to go, at the minute or at the hour or by the day. So maybe some of you, there is something about control in your path, and the letting loose aspect is more important than you think or than you feel. So maybe the decision you have to make of leaving behind is this controlling aspect, is that, but I have to figure this out because others have, or because of this and because of that, but you don't. You can have a simple life. You can make decision by the day and do what makes you happy and try to be okay with that. Let's see what else. Can you tell us more, Spirit, please? Ooh. You have the King of Wands. You know, passion, energy. You have the King and the Queen. You have a couple. There's something else I can help pile to, Spirit. Okay. So we have the Nine of Swords. Maybe, I'm sorry if I'm going back to control and it's not resonating with you, but I have to say it. Because I feel like, especially those of you who it's like with control and wanting to have everything perfect and figured out right now, it's causing anxiety, it's causing insomnia, it's causing so many problems, especially in your mind. The Nine of Swords. And that's why you have to let it go, and that's why you have to embrace the unknown. That's why you have to understand and try to let go of wanting to have everything perfect and figure it out, because it's gonna get you out of this phase. The other card you have is the Judgment. See, this one really speaks to me as hope, as a reminder for you that it will be better, it will get better. Like, I love the imagery so much in this card, and the sun coming out as a lotus. And you know, the lotus flower, you probably know, but comes from, and I'm gonna use the term dirt for lack of a better term, okay, but comes from, you know, its root are really deep into mud, and yet at the surface it is such a beautiful flower. Maybe this specifically speaks to some of you. Maybe this means something specific to you. So maybe it's nothing, but you know, the lotus in dirty waters, crocodile something. I don't really remember the name of where they're from. I know in French, at least where I'm from, we say ils vivent dans un marais. In Florida, Everglades, maybe that's significant. But you know, dirty waters. I'm sorry, but that's what I have. So maybe that's significant. For some of you, the Florida Everglades could represent where you're living or something important. But I think the idea, at least it feels like that, the idea of especially with the lotus, it could be very significant, especially if you feel like you're in a bad place at the moment and there's no way you can make it. Yes, you do. Yes, you can. About the King of Wands, I'm going back to this one. First of all, it's a show off. And I'm not talking about the King of Wands. I'm talking about, how do you say that in English? I know when from, we say serpent, the animal on this card specifically, apparels, I'm really not sure, so I'm sorry about that, but I'm sure you can see it. So this bird specifically, I heard it's a show off, because of, you know, sometimes they open its tail and it's beautiful colors, very, very beautiful. Maybe it's something significant for some of you, but if we put this specific message aside, The King of Wands in general, it does speaks about passion. Generally speaking, we do take wands as passion, but sorry about that part too. But a King of Wands is a king. Same with you. You have a couple. You have a queen. They both still have that passion, that fire, that drive, but they're both more mature. So some of you, maybe there is a decision to make, or there's something that makes you scared of you're gonna lose yourself in it, or maybe it's not gonna be the same if you choose this instead of something else. And maybe for some of you it does speaks about you need to gain more maturity, but for most of you what I'm getting is their maturity in this card really speaks to me in the sense of trusting yourself, trusting your gut, trusting where your passion takes you, because you are more mature. You know what you want now. Now you have this ability of being able to trust these feelings, of trusting these instincts, because you're older, because you're more mature. You know, it's not just like a thing that you'll regret tomorrow. At least not what I'm getting. And since I've already talked about a little bit with the Queen of Wands and the letting loose, I have to say that what I'm feeling right now is that you can trust this feeling of letting go of control, of letting loose a little bit, because I feel like for some of you it is necessary. And you know, in the King of Wands card, we do see a bit of it still, but it is not represented as much as the animal with a full open tail. It's not showing off that much what it has. And that speaks to me for you, pile too, because of what I just said, because of it doesn't need to show you what it has. It doesn't need to impress you. I think this is you. I think this is something you should embrace, especially if you're here because you feel like I've already mentioned, I'm sorry, but especially if you feel influenced by others or social media, whatever your case is, the letting loose is really for yourself. The letting go of control is the same. You're not doing those things for people anymore. You really have to do it for yourself. We have other oracles, so I think I'm just gonna move this because I want to put them upward, if we can use that term, but up here. So you have shadow, embracing the unknown is coming back for me. Ritual, it is as inhuman to be totally good as it is to be totally evil, by Anthony Burgess. I hope I'm saying his name right. Intuition, trust your gut and listen to your heart. Yeah, that's important. And growth. Do you see it if I put it there? Oh yeah, okay. It is as inhuman to be totally good as it is to be totally evil really speaks to me for you, and it comes back to impressing others or doing things for others, wanting to be good, wanting it to be perfect. But it could also be a relationship that you have with yourself, you know. Maybe you're blaming yourself if you're not doing something right. Maybe you're blaming yourself if it's not good enough. And the letting loose is coming back because it doesn't have to be perfect. You do not have to already have everything figured out and planned for the rest of your life. With the ritual card, maybe some of you do need to incorporate some kind of ritual in your life, in your day-to-day life. Sorry for my voice. And by the way, there was just a card that passed by, so I did cut, but I did not want you to hear that. But yeah, sorry for my voice again. But maybe it is like simple thing or simple task that you need to include in your day-to-day that can help you have this new perspective, can also help you figure out what do you like, what you do not like about yourself and about the things that you do, maybe about certain activities or hobbies that you do no longer need or actually want to pursue now. And to me it feels like especially the ritual and the having new hobbies, I'm drawn to this aspect for you because I feel like especially if you do try new things and try new hobbies, you're also gonna meet people. And I think that there's a chance that you meet the right people, people that are more like you, that are more drawn to the same things as you as discover. Maybe people who are also growing on their own and being on this journey with themselves. So maybe you're gonna find more mind-like people. I hope this is the right term. And I guess this could help some of you, especially if they like you, but let's say they already done part of the journey, so they're not as hard on themselves. I think that seeing that can really help you to accept your shadow, accept your shadow side, to accept your shadow self, and to accept that you don't know everything about yourself, and you also certainly do not know everything that's going to happen to you, and just embracing that part and learning to be in the moment. I think this is something that you truly need to learn, that you truly need to embrace. It really feels to me like this is something that can really take off some of the weight out of your shoulder. But yes, part 2, this is everything I have for you. I hope you resonate with this reading, or at least some parts of it. Please let me know in the comment section below if you feel comfortable to telling me how you are, how you're doing on this journey. If you want, you don't have to, obviously, but it will be my pleasure to read your comment and see how you're doing. Feel free to leave a thumbs up. This will help my channel grow. Also feel free to subscribe to never miss any reading I'm uploading. I post a new one every Saturday. I wish you all the best on this beautiful journey of yours. Accept the chaos. Embrace the unknown, pal 2. It is going to be okay. You will see the sun again. You know, you will have this aura moment, or this aha moment, if I can use instead. So trust the process. Trust your intuition. Trust yourself. It will be okay. You will find your own and unique way. Your own beautiful way of living. I have trust and faith in you. I hope you do the same with yourself. I wish you all the best and hope to see you next time. Bye bye. Hello, pal 3. Welcome back. If you chose the lizard, the number 13, or the opalite, then this is your reading. First of all, I will concentrate on the lizard because I have a few things to say just with these cards and this crystal. So maybe something that is significant for some of you with the lizard is the aspect of, you know, the lizard kind of like a snake, which in the same family, and they shed its skin. So to me, it is more in regard of transformation, of change, of being okay with this aspect. If I am correct and if I'm not wrong, I think some lizard, I don't know if it's all lizards though, but I think that some lizards, in a way of self-preserving themselves or protecting themselves, it's a protection mechanism. If a predator gets to them, they can like leave parts of themselves and it will regenerate. Obviously, I don't think it's all of them, but maybe it was significant. Maybe it's something that you should know. And I think it's they tell. So, you know, in order to protect themselves, if a predator catches it, they can just leave it there and it'll just grow over time. Adaptation in general for the lizard is something important. You know, if I'm thinking about the chameleon, which I know is not a lizard, but they change in colors. Well, similarly to the lizard who regenerate its tail, it's gonna have a new one. It's gonna have a reborn aspect of it. is for me the same. Seeing specifically the part of letting go of something that is harmful, like being catched by a prey and leaving the tail behind, could also represent leaving something behind in your life. So leaving whether it's a way of thinking, a way of doing, people, just the aspect of in order to grow, you will make space. I think this is something significant. I know that in the book of this card, it does speaks about taking a step back from loud crowds, big cities, and mainly going back to yourself. It is said, that it can hear what is yet to come and see what is yet to come, something like that. So for those of you, to me, it does feels like, in a way, why you chose this reading, because this reading is why you're lost. What should you do now, So maybe you are overstimulated by everything that is in your life right now, and the first thing that you should try to do is to take a step back. You chose the Opalite, this little crystal right here. Is a lot of time associated with new beginnings or with healing. So some of you, maybe you are on the verge of starting a new journey, and that's why you're feeling lost. Both the lizard and this crystal can also speak about creativity. So some of you maybe need to go back to the creative part of yourself, or maybe some of you needs to take this new journey and see where it leads you. But you also have the card 13. I'm just gonna move your lizard here, which is dignified or strength. In this deck, you also have another one, which is a number 14 with debilitated or discomfort. And I don't know why, but I was happy to see these two, because it felt like they're two of the same coins, or they're opposite in a way. That the card with the number 13 really speaks like when a planet would say in its home state. Let's take Mars for example. Mars is its home. Mars, it feels really happy, and I hair quote this, when it's in Scorpio, for example. So maybe it is linked for you to be in an aspect of your life, or to try to find a place in your life where you are your most self, your most unique self. I did say Scorpio, but it could also be Aries. These two signs. Mars is at home. At least I'm gonna use this term. I'm gonna use this way of saying it. So it's like it knows what it wants, it knows who you are, but it's mostly like who you are, what you want, etc., etc. So I think some of you are trying to get there. On the other side, and the complete opposite, is like you're not in your own element. It's complicated, there's all these stairs. If I'm looking at this one, it's straightforward. There's a one way to get to that door, and that's it. And this one's kind of like chaos. It's like everything everywhere, and you don't know which one to choose. I think this card very well represents this reading of, yeah, you're lost. What should you do now? I found this really interesting. But at the same time, if I take a step back and I try to view it from, let's say, to see as much as possible, if I can use this term, all these stairs can lead somewhere also else from this door. So all other possibilities, it's like you have many chances with this one to explore and to find out who you are, what you like, etc., etc. I think this is an aspect that should be incorporated in your life. But I'm just gonna move your cards here, as well as your crystal. And for now, your tarot, you have the Ace of Cups, the Ten of Cups, and the Six of Swords. The Ace of Cups really makes me feel like some of you are starting something new, and it can get you to this Ten of Cups, to this, I have plenitude, but I don't think this is the right word. But it can get you to this place of feeling very satisfied with where you are and who you are in the future. But from what I'm feeling with what we just talked about with your oracles, the Ace of Cups in your reading right now makes me want to go in a direction of it's time for you to open your heart, in a sense of it's time for you to open yourself to these possibilities, to these new perspectives, to see what the world has to offer to you. Maybe some of you have an offer in some way in your life, and that is the reason of why you feel so lost. Should you accept this? Maybe it's an offer that is in a field you're not used, is in a field where you feel like, but I'm not going to be in my place in that field. Maybe your talents won't, you're scared that they won't be recognized, that they won't be useful for this team or this field. If that's the case for some of you, maybe it is very specific. But otherwise, for most of you, it does feel like it kind of calls to you to open up and to explore your avenues, to explore what there is in this world, and not be fixated on wanting and well, that's the way and that's the only way. So you see, it kind of see the whole thing as a bigger picture. There might be others, important people in your life that are kind of integrated in this aspect of your life, especially if you're about to make a choice. Maybe you're not only making this choice for yourself, so that might be why for some of you it's so complicated and you feel so lost, because you're not alone in this. And even with the Six of Swords, I really feel like you are in a transition. You know, you are in a transformation, in a transforming phase of your life. Basically what we were saying with the lizard, that is kind of letting go of parts of itself, and it's going it back. You know, it's changing, it's growing. The Six of Swords do makes me feel like that, but it also talks about letting go. So maybe one thing that some of you need to do is realizing that a chapter of your life is over, and in order to move to the next, you actually have to turn the page. See what else we can have for you, Pile 3. So Spirit, Pile 3 is feeling lost right now. Do you have some advice on what they should do now? Whoa. I'm not taking them, sorry. Oh, sorry, I just hit the camera. What should Pile 3 do, Spirit? Okay, you have a lot of cards. I'm just gonna take the first one. So you have two. You have the 10 of Wands, feeling overwhelmed. You have a lot on your shoulders, and the 4 of Cups. Yeah, I'm drawn to going back to the chapter thing that I just said. You know, maybe some of you, there really is a need to let go, because you're missing out. You're missing out on the opportunity. You should really open the doors and see, well, not open the doors, but you should really go for seeing what options you have, instead of concentrating on what is currently happening, on what you lost. Ooh. What should part 3 do now, Spirit? How can they unstuck themselves? This turn. We have... Okay, wait. So, we have the 7 of Pentacles. Growing. We have the King of Wands. And the 5 of Pentacles. Maturity, growing something, change. I feel like the 7 of Pentacles could represent an amount of work that you're doing on yourself or on your life or a project. The 5 of Pentacles, I have to say, what I have in mind when I'm seeing this card for you, pile 3 right now, is leaving behind. It's moving forward. You have... I was about to say you have a lot of Pentacles, but you only have 2. I don't know why. I feel like there's a lot of Earth energy in your reading, and not necessarily just from your tarot, just in general. So Earth is Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo. Maybe you are one of these signs, or you have them in your chart. And I'm drawn especially to Taurus. That is a fixed sign. So you know they are very determined, they're very stable and reliable people, but there can be something that makes them want to avoid change or wants to resist to change. And the 4 of Cups and what I just said really in face that really puts this up front for me in regards of you, pile 3. Oh, we have death on the bottom of the deck. You know, a lot of the times people are scared of death, but generally speaking, it more so speaks about change. And I just said that some of you might be afraid of change, might be not wanting to change. I feel like change is something that you'll have to face. It's something that you'll have to accept and embrace in your life, in your journey, pile 3. In fact, I really feel like maybe it's fear. So maybe your fear of change, or maybe your resistance to change is mainly what is blocking you. Well, most of you, at least for what I'm feeling now, in your life. So it's like your resistance to change right now is what is making you feel lost. That's basically what I'm getting. Because maybe some of you are feeling comfortable. Maybe some of you are not seeing why you should change this thing or this thing instead. Maybe you're not seeing that. Maybe you're not feeling that. Maybe you're like, no, but there's a possibility that some of you are not actually that happy in your life, but it's comfortable, it's familiar. Therefore, it's scary to move away from this and to start new, to open a new door and not knowing where it leads. This might be specific, but I have to say it. The 5 of Pentacles, also the 10 of Wands, even with the 4 of Cups, and even with the 7 of Pentacles, these specifically, right now where they're taking me is kind of they're taking me where you're alone, where you feel isolated, especially this one who can speak about being isolated and going through a tough time. Maybe you feel like you're alone in this, and that's why it feels like there is something about change that you cannot overcome. There's something in your life that you feel like you cannot overcome, and that's why you're staying put. That's why you're staying still. Because it's like, there's no way I can get through this, not by myself. So I'd rather stay here. But now you're lost. Now, even if some of you are alone and you're trying to move because you're alone, some of you may feel like, I don't know which way to take. I don't know how I can get through this. I need help. I need someone to show me the way. And I don't know who to ask. I don't know where to look. That's the catch with the Four of Cups, and even with the Ace of Cups and what we said at the beginning. And there was something about other people here. And at first I thought that maybe you're making decision for others, which if it's the case, then it didn't change. But for what I have right now, it feels like maybe some of you, there is people that are very, very close to you, but you're not seeing them. Maybe there is an aspect in your life, in yourself right now, that kind of close the door on others. So you refuse to go ask for help or to go seek help because maybe you feel like it will make you weak or anything like that. But where I'm getting with this, and it's kind of hard to say because I don't want to offend anybody. I don't want to hurt your feelings or anything like this. But there is an aspect of some of you might be the problem. Some of you know what you should do. It's just that you don't want to do it. Get it? It's difficult. But if you see an opportunity to be helped, or to be helped to move, or to be helped to do something, this is your cue to act on it and to take that chance and to take that help. The Ten of Wands, I just heard something that I've read somewhere a long time ago. In fact, it's been so long that I don't know if I'm gonna say it right, so I'm sorry about that. But I'm looking at the Ten of Wands, and I just felt like you can let them go. You know, you can leave the ones. You can leave what is troubling you. You can leave what is heavy on your shoulder. And the sentence that I read, I think it says, sometimes the best thing you can do is leave the pieces on the floor and get out. It actually says another word, but I don't think I can say it on YouTube. And get the something and get the F out. You know, basically, when everything is crumbling down, when you're losing hope, when things are getting very hard and you realize, but it's not my fault and I'm tired of carrying this, you have the right to choose to not carry this anymore, especially if those are burdens that are not even your own, especially if those are decisions that you take to please other people, whether it's friends, family, co-workers, whoever it is, you know. If you're making your life more difficult for yourself in order to please others, that's for you. This message of get the F out. You have the right to do this. But let's see, what else, Spirit? What else can you say to pile 3? What should they do now? Sorry, there's just a card that is passing by. So, we have the Sun at the bottom of the deck. You know, it's gonna get better. If you were drawn to pile 2, they also had the Sun. Not in this position, but still, it's beautiful. So, you have... what is it? It's like L'Impératrice, but the Emperor and then... Empress, sorry. Yeah, in English you say the Empress. So the Empress, the 9 of Pentacles, growing. There is something about growing in your pile. The World, possibilities, being open to possibilities. It's definitely here. You also have the 9 of Cups, the Page of Cups, a younger energy, and the King of Cups. We have a king here, both looking in opposite direction. I also had that in pile 1, And I have a similar message of looking both ways before crossing a street. But in this sense is looking at all the possibilities that you have. Okay, this might be specific, and some of you might not like this, but I do have to say it because that's what I'm getting. With the Page of Cups, as soon as I saw it, I did say a younger energy. I do feel like there is a younger energy. And yet, with the two king, there is a sense of maturity. And what I meant to say is that maybe some of you lack some kind of maturity in some aspect of your life. And that may be why some of you are refusing to move or do not know what you should do, because there's something that is missing in you in order to make the right choices. But at the same time, I feel like it's tricky to say this because I don't want you to interpret this in a bad way. Because it's okay to be young, it's okay to not know where you're going. You do not have to put too much pressure on yourself, and that has to be clear. But you really need to know that even if you lack maturity, even though you may be younger and not knowing what you should do or which opportunity to take or which doors to open, staying still is not the right way and in the moment. It truly feels, with everything I have right now in front of me, that there is an opportunity that you currently have or that you soon have, and that you should take it. Maybe for some of you, I'm looking at the World card. This opportunity is just going to help you to see all the others. And yes, I know this can be overwhelming, but at the same time, if you felt stuck, if you felt like so stuck, seeing all the choices that you can make, that they all made for you, can feel good, can feel like, yeah, well, at least I have choices to make. At least I do not have to stay put. I do not have to stay lost, Seeing all the choices that you have, for some of you at least, that's what I'm getting, can be helping. So even though your opportunity is just giving you that, it is a good thing. From the Empress, I think something that you need to know is to stay calm, is to allow things to naturally happen, to allow things to present themselves to you. She's not going after anything. She is open to everything, at least to me right now in your reading. That's what I'm getting. And I think this is something you should do. It's like you should be open. It's like by doing something, I mean it like something inside of you. It's like what you need to do, not what you need to, the action you need to take and the move you need to make is internal. It's kind of like making yourself open for everything. And then once you're ready, once you've grown, because there's really something about growing here, you can decide to take a decision. You can decide to choose a path, if you will. For you, pile 3, you can see the not staying. What is it? I have pull, but it's not pull. It's like not staying still. Sorry. You can see the not staying still in two ways depending on your situation. Some of you actually need to make a move. You actually need to do something. And the rest is just what I just said. It's an internal thing. So I guess this would make your path divided. But you dismiss it as you will. Pile 3, you also have other oracles, so we'll look into them now. You have chemistry, chaos. Can you hear the silence? Can you see the dark? Can you fix the broken? Can you feel my heart? By Bring Me the Horizon. To be soft is to be powerful. Empress energy, that's what I'm getting now. And Twin Flame. I have to say with the twin flame, I think I have to clarify it. Maybe some of you're feeling stuck because of a relationship in some way, but I do not concentrate my energy or feel anything really from your reading in regard of your a twin flame, in regards of a romantic situation. I have to admit, if it's your case, then I guess it's a confirmation that it is about somebody that you feel stuck in a relationship or something like that. But generally speaking, the twin flames, the reflecting parts of them kind of makes me want to go with yourself. You know, this could be, at least that's what I'm getting now, this could be linked to all the growing things I kept feeling for you. It feels like, you know, twin flames is a journey, and with the growing aspect, I feel like this is what it represents for you. It's like you're taking a new journey into yourself to see where is it gonna lead you, you know, where are you going, what do you want, who you are, etc. There is something about that to be soft is too powerful. Brings me back to the aspect of your reading where, especially with the Empress, is just kind of being herself and her element and being open to everything. It really brings me back to, this is something really, most of you, I think you're in this group in your pile of kind of feel the vibe, kind of go with the flow and see where it leads. Try, you know, once you have this opportunity to see all the other and you're ready to explore the other possibilities around you, take your time, open that door and see what's going on in there. If you're not happy, you can always choose another one. There is no rush. There is no need for you to cause chaos more than you already feel. There is no need for you to quickly make a decision, to quickly do anything. It truly feels like you are right now in a transformative state in your life, and you need to take it one step at a time. You know, chemistry, if I'm not mistaken, they kind of study, you know, they put things into others and then they see how it reacts. I think this aspect is important, of kind of observing what it's going on. So maybe this is in regard of you, like I just mentioned, like once you're ready, exploring and observing what it does, how you feel. Is this something you want to do? Is this something that you see yourself doing for a long time or not? So I think something that you need to hear is that your journey is kind of one of trial and error. So to not be too harsh on yourself, to not put too much on yourself, or let others put too much on yourself. But pile 3, this is everything I have for you in regards of your reading. I hope you resonate with this reading, or at least some parts of it. To be honest with you, I feel, especially towards the end, that I was kind of all over the place. There's kind of like, it does feel like there's two parts, two groups in your pile at least. So I hope, if it's not all the reading that resonate with you, at least some parts of it. If you feel comfortable to, please let me know in the comments section below. Also feel free to let me know how you're feeling, how your journey is going. I'm always happy to read the comments and learn about you. Feel free to leave a thumbs up. This will help my channel grow. Also feel free to subscribe to never miss any reading I'm uploading. I post a new one every Saturday. I wish you a great time. You truly need to trust yourself and to let yourself be open So don't be too harsh on yourself. Don't beat up yourself if you're feeling like, oh, I made the wrong decision. You're in a transformative state of your life, like I mentioned, and there is truly something about trial and error. So don't be too difficult, don't be too harsh on you, okay? You're learning who it is that you actually are and what it is that you actually want for yourself, and that is a big thing, that is a big deal. So it's not gonna be made in one day, in one night, okay? You have the rest of your lifetime to do this. It will probably change again, so there is no rush. I wish you all the best and hope to see you next time. Bye bye.